Moving on, grill maker Traeger out with earnings after the bell on Wednesday. Grill sales showed steady comeback, jumping 45% year over year, even as consumers under pressure pulled back from bigger ticket discretionary purchases. Let's bring in now Traeger CEO Jeremy Andrus for more. Can you just give us, and thank you, by the way, for joining us here today. Can you just give us a big picture overview of your earnings and what you think this means for investors?
Absolutely. Good to be here. So first of all, we had a solid quarter. Sales grew 26% over the prior year quarter. EBITDA grew from negative $13 million to positive $4.7 million. And we saw meaningful growth in our gross margin. It grew, expanded 1,000 basis points over the prior year quarter. So it was a good quarter. And I would say it was a quarter marked by discipline in a challenging environment. I mean, if you think about where we've come in terms of the market for high-ticket consumer discretionary products, high-ticket durables, it's been a challenging market since post-pandemic. And so as a team, and I'm really proud of the team and how the team has dug in and said we're going to be disciplined. We've cut OpEx. Meaningfully, we grew sales 26% in the quarter, grew OpEx 1% in the quarter. So there's a lot of good things going on around the P&L, around the balance sheet. Inventories come down meaningfully this year from north of $150 million to about $100 million at the end of the quarter. So, we're grinding through a tough environment, being disciplined so that we can drive EBITDA, but also ensuring that we can prioritize the right investments that allow us to drive growth in the future.
And you mentioned the challenging environment here. You have a window on the consumer, and before you IPO'd in 2021, you were still operational, and you were getting to see people go through all kinds of remodeling at home. People were making large discretionary purchases, and now they've pulled back because of this challenging environment. What's your read on the consumer right now?
It's a good question. It's interesting when you read the consumer headlines. It speaks to a robust consumer who is continuing to spend. If you pull that apart a little bit and you look at the category that we play in, and if you zoom out and look at just broader high-ticket durables that trended during the pandemic, we certainly saw some pull forward demand, and I think all of these categories are recovering from some extent. But it's also American consumers are used to financing almost everything. And so you think about interest rates, there's certainly an impact from the consumer financing perspective. But we sort of look at this category and say, Americans grill. They always have. And actually, the market for American households who grill grew during the pandemic from 75 to 76 million households. And so, we saw some volatility. Consumers overbought during the pandemic, and at some point, we'll get back to more normalized replenishment cycles, and we'll see sort of this steady market where it's a slow grower, but Traeger is a grower, a disruptor, and a share gainer. We're just sort of navigating a window that's very different than the one that we were in 2 years ago.
Yeah, you mentioned financing from the consumer. We actually have the Affirm CFO after the break here, but I want to stick with you. We are coming up on Thanksgiving, the busiest retail, holiday time of the year. What kind of products are you planning to release? Any specials? What are your plans for the holiday retail buying spending spree season?
So we love the holiday season. Unlike the traditional grilling industry, which tends to be more seasonal, we do really well during the holidays, not just because of gift buying, the best gift that you could buy, of course, but because consumers actually use this product year round. They cook their turkeys on it, their lamb, their ham. And so this is a product that does well during the pandemic. During the holiday season. But to be clear, the engagement of the Traeger community is still very small. It's still very, very strong. We are seeing consumers continue to cook at very impressive rates to engage with the brand. We're seeing our social media grow meaningfully, up 20% in terms of total followers since last year in the third quarter. And so we sort of look at this community that's still very strong, very passionate, and we're coming into a holiday season that's typically been a great moment for us. Thanksgiving is a great moment for us. I was in LA a couple of nights ago at a Friendsgiving event with some really interesting chefs and influencers. And so this is a moment for us. Our consumables are performing well. Pellets, of course, it's a fuel and flavor for the grill, but rubs and sauces. And so we like we like the investments that we're making in the business. We love this strong engagement that's continuing. And during this moment, we're going to drive energy during the holiday season because our consumers listening.
All right, we have to leave it there, but best of luck to you in this holiday season. Traeger CEO Jeremy Andrus.